Hi everyone, it's your Simmer here. So, ran down this morning to the greenhouses. I did some work last night to get things stacked. Big load, got 21,000 liters on there. But we need basically a little over 27,000. So once I take that 21, we'll see if things kind of clean up. If we get that extra 3 liters back. Not sure that we will. But in the meantime, right now, we've got 1,000 between those two greenhouses, and then there's 4 pallets here, which is another 2,000, because we basically need 6,000. So we've got half of it ready to go, but I'm able to now take this over and get this delivered to Stu's. Get very, very close, and then we'll just go ahead and determine what we want to do, because we do need to get some sorghum in the ground, so I'm going to have a plan for that. But we haven't even switched the greenhouses over to tomatoes yet, and so I'm assuming we're going to have plenty of time, even if I don't go ahead and do anything with the sorghum today. But I'm not quite sure that I shouldn't do it, because short of moving a lot of things over, I knew it was top heavy. It wasn't really a reason I had to do what I did here, but frankly, it was so late at night, I got a little confused and honestly thought all I needed was this additional 3,000. Somehow I had in my head that I only needed 21,000 liters in total, and then when I went and looked at the VIP order sheet, I saw, wait a minute, I need 6,000 more, and there's not really a way to get that on here, because even if I did a full level here, we're really talking about 4 levels would be 24,000, because it's 6,000 per level, and that's a lot, and it would still require another trip, and so it's kind of foolish to do what it's even foolish to do what I've done already in overstacking things. But I did the work and was like, they're on there now, and there's not really a reason to take them off. So still got the harvester out on the field. Obviously that was a late night when we finished that yesterday, so we'll deal with that at some point as appropriate, because that may be where we put the sorghum, that may be not where we put the sorghum. I mean, I'm leaning toward that will be not where we put the sorghum, because I think what I'm going to do is the canola that has replaced the potatoes that I had a little while back for level 12, where I need 208,000 liters of that. I think canola is going to go on that field. And the likelihood is I'm still not going to have enough canola to fill that order off that one field anyway. So I think that's going to take a little bit of either extra fields or work. But we've got time, because that's 2 levels down the road, but that's partially why I want to get the canola planted and going, because I think we're going to have 2 harvest cycles of that to really ultimately satisfy the need. So here go the strawberries, and again we should be down to about 6,000 by the time it's all done. Hopefully it will be 6,000. It won't be, it's getting worse, not better. So I'm gonna need 1 extra pallet. What I may do is let one greenhouse run a little longer. I don't want to necessarily be having lots of things sitting around. I've already got 1 thing of tomatoes waiting, which is fine because I need that, and 1 thing of eggs, which is okay now that I do need that, but those eggs have been there from like level 1 or 2, and luckily the eggs stay really fresh for pretty much ever, as does everything here on the farm. So magic produce that we grow. But 1.356 million pounds. Definitely a good, healthy bank balance. So if we do at some point have to get any further productions or do anything else, we now definitely have some breathing room. And more importantly, you know, long term, where we'd be headed is, I think, it may be time to look for other pastures after level 20. We'll see how things feel at that point. But having a good amount of capital to start in a new location would be excellent, because then we could just hit the ground running and move along quickly. You know, we might need to buy some additional fields. We had the benefit here of our uncle leaving us a pretty big farm and then getting those VIP bonuses with the VIP orders he had set up when he handed over the keys to us here and said, "It's yours now, operate it." We got some good level bonuses in the beginning that obviously allowed us to pick up field 42, but the challenge will be wheat's pretty prolific, and we only got 30,000 of wheat from this field down here. I'm thinking even if I plant all 4 fields with canola, which is probably what, or not canola, with sorghum, which is probably what I will do, I don't know that I'm going to have enough. And I'm okay having too much if I somehow get lucky, because once again, I can feed the chickens with that, and I'm going to need that to get the egg production going. Oh, looks like we just had pallets hop out again. No, just one here. But I'm imagining we've got to be close for the other greenhouses, but we need 6 more, and really we need 7 more because we have that 5-liter shortage that we have. Because, yeah, this is tomato and egg. That's kind of what we've got here in the shade tree going. But we're going to need to probably get those going soon. Almost wondering, let me take a look. Alright, we don't need eggs till level 14, so maybe we'll wait till we understand what things are looking like. But really, I have everything other than tomatoes and sorghum, I believe, to take care of level 12. So we're going to be able to do a lot of things pretty quickly once we get the strawberries done, and I'm thinking we can get the strawberries done today. So if I can do that, this may turn into a pretty quick turnaround, but yeah, my challenge is I promised you that in this episode we'd be done. And I guess we will be with level 11. We may just then not do any of the work yet of level 12, because at this point, unless I sit around and just wait for the strawberries to be done, I'm just letting time pass, and it's a beautiful day, and that just seems like a waste. So I know I need sorghum, because I only have 537 liters of it at this point. But I think if I get the sorghum in the field, because I don't have enough barley, I do have enough soybeans. We had 50,000 of that, so I have enough soybeans here to fill that. So I have to grow sorghum, canola, and a little bit more barley, but obviously the barley comes much later. Alright, so yeah, I am going to go ahead, use some of the time, and at least get started on the sorghum. Because if I can do that, I think it's still going to take, it may still take all day to get enough of those strawberries to fill the order, and it would just be a shame to let the whole day go by just waiting when we have the benefit, again, with the VIPs of knowing exactly what we need to be doing in the future, so we can make good use of our time here on the farm and be productive and just continue to drive profits up. Alright, we're going to see how this goes, because I know for sure the wheat field that I'll be able to do what I need with that. So we're set for sorghum. I'm going to go ahead and fill up my seeds, though, because it's kind of foolish to come back here. So there we go. So we're topped off. Whether 2,000 liters of seed will be enough to get all of the planting done or not, but what I don't know is, will I be able to go over the potatoes and the sugarcane with this or not? Get this planted. Looks like a pretty high level of seeds the way it's going to operate. But I'm going to go ahead and get this done, get this field planted, and then we'll kind of pop in and see where we stand for the other fields, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to see you in a bit. Just after lunch here, we've got 6,000 liters, so we're waiting for one more pallet of strawberries. This is the greenhouse that's been the furthest ahead. So what I've done is I've started the others on tomatoes, and this is 67 liters out of 500 that we can do on strawberries. And we're just about done with the first field of sorghum planting. So things have been moving along pretty well, but I think it took 2.5 hours or so to get done with the strawberries. So I'll just need to wait probably that long, but at this point, you know, the next thing will be to see if I can either just start on the potato field or the sugarcane field, and if it will let me just go ahead and use the direct seeder that way. But it looks like, because this is the largest field of the 4 here, and we're going to be probably at best 81%, but we might still be at 82%. It doesn't use a ton of seed here for the sorghum planting, as you can tell. So it'll be nice to kind of get these fields back into rotation, but we also don't have a lot of need in the future, because right now it's, as I said, it's really canola, sorghum, and then a little bit of barley later. Alright, so let us head over here, and we'll just see. I'm thinking it's not going to be that simple. Sadly, I'm thinking I'm going to need to cultivate, but maybe not. I mean, the nice thing would be if it would just let me do it, but it doesn't look like it will. Oh, well, can't say that it doesn't look like it will because I haven't put my seeder down. Let me make sure it's running. No, it's running. No, it actually will go. Alright. So I'm going to work on this. I assume if I can do this, I can do the potatoes, but I'm just going to keep this moving along while I keep working on the production sales. So once the strawberries are back and we're ready to get that done, I'm going to return, so I'll see you then. Coming up here on when the strawberries will output. There we go. So go ahead and change this to tomatoes, and I'll go ahead and get this on the trailer and we'll go get it delivered. All right, 6,500. So everything going well, other than it did take all day, but that's why I'm glad I did get my planting started. So I've got the sugarcane field fully done. On the mini map there you can see the work is being done over on field 9. I still have to plant field 10 with sorghum. So I will be going ahead and probably continuing and just getting that taken care of, but it is so nice to not have the sugarcane there anymore. It was just kind of a sloppy look, big tall field, something I dreaded having to work with, so I can't say that I'm sad to see it go. I've determined I'm not a big fan of sugarcane, and as I said, it's one thing maybe if I was to do a South American series or something and decided I was running a sugarcane plantation, but I would assume then that, you know, I might do something different, or I might have multiple harvesters, and there might be different harvesters I can use. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I look on ModHub, there's gotta be something more than what I had there. But when I'm just doing it as an operation for some VIPs that wanted a little thing here and there, it didn't make a lot of sense. So I did not like it the way it was working. I know potatoes are kind of the way they normally would be, but once again, that wasn't that bad other than the challenge of doing them. So I would certainly probably bring root crops back on another map before I would bring sugarcane back. But we don't have to worry about that for a while, so. Alright, I am pretty excited because this is going to, again, give us not only the end of the level 11 orders, finally. I don't even know if it's been 5 or more episodes. Oh, goodness, I hit the corner, but I didn't realize I was going to get stuck. But, yeah, I think I've been working on level 11 for a while. It definitely has been my longest level. And, you know, I expect that as I get higher, they're going to get more challenging. But this was a lot. But we're going to get level 11, and then we're going to get visibility to level 15. Unless I did something and I made a mistake with the edits and it blows up. But let's see. Alright, so 273,500 contract income, and there you can see our level 12. Again, 6 distinct orders that we have. But the payout's not quite as high. It's not 273, it's 213. And some of that I'm sure has to do with the size of what we've got and so forth. It looks like it reorganized this a little bit because the canola was higher up, but alright, so level 15, cheese, canola, raisins. Ooh, we do have some honey. I can do that. And we have lettuce, which is greenhouses, so nothing crazy. Cheese takes a bit, so we'll have to plan that one out. Whoops, let me go back, because the other thing I didn't see. Alright, the payout at least has increased, which is nice to see that we're kind of sitting up there at a good level. So it gives me some hope for kind of where we're headed with things. Honey can take a little bit of time, so I may actually just, since I am just waiting for the sorghum to do things, it's a little late in the day to start getting going on level 12. I think I'm gonna wait for that. But I could go ahead and figure out, I could just probably place a beehive over there by the sheep, because I've got a lot of empty space over there since we removed the cow barn and then put the sheep in place. And just start generating some honey there. But that is kind of the newest thing we're going to have to do on the farm. And it was only a matter of time, I figured, until we'd see some need for honey, because that's a pretty standard product in a lot of things, and, you know, it's a nice little area here at Riverview. Why wouldn't the residents want some honey? And I don't know, maybe I will change my mind and run something. Just not sure what yet, but you know, what I'm thinking is maybe just like against the the fence there. So I'm going to place this here. But I think if I just, kind of could put a beehive here or there. So I'll start with one, and I'll do the large ones. So, I mean, I have no problem doing that. Probably put it over here, just to kind of have it out of the way. I want to make sure, because I think it would let me put it in there, which I probably don't want to do. But there we go. We'll do that. And I need the pallet location. And I probably could just do that right next to it. And you only need one pallet location. So I was worried is that it would go into the field a little bit, but that's alright. We can do away with that tiny bit of grass. And there we go. The bees are busy. They're doing their thing. Yeah, so it doesn't really tell me where it's at. I'll see it once honey starts getting produced. I don't think that'll take too terribly long. But going back here, so we're going to need cheese at some point. Alright, so I'm going to deactivate that. So for cheese, 3 milk, make 2 cheese. So what that means is I'm going to need basically 14 or 15,000. I don't know, my math's not working very well here, because it's not 1 for 1, but it's 1.5 to 1, so I'm going to need 13,500, I think. So that's pretty reasonable. Now I'm going to need more grapes to make raisins, but that's fine, because we made 10,000 raisins and 9,000 grape juice with one harvest. So that will work. I'll just obviously devote the grape unit to just be making raisins. So we'll just turn off all production right now. What I'm really trying to figure out, is it running or is it stuck? It must be stuck on a tree. Great. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Alright, so we've got that moving again. Obviously, haven't gotten rid of the trees here. We don't really have a need to yet, other than for things like this. But while this is running, do I want to go ahead and make some progress on some things? I'm not quite sure. Because it's early enough in the day that I think I want to let this keep running, and that way I've at least got the sorghum done, because I'm going to have to fertilize it. I think I have to lime these fields by now. I did have to go ahead and have the soils sampled again on everything except that southern field. Alright, so this was the first question, is it just going to plow under the untopped potatoes? I wouldn't see why it wouldn't do that, but it is, so we're good. But yeah, I'm hoping then by the end of the day I could get things done, so yeah, let's tackle some of this and see what we can do. So maybe we'll just start and go down the list. So I think any time for taking any of the other material here, or as far as pallets of goods, I've been using this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we need to go to the carpentry location, and we'll take the furniture over to Stu's. So those are actually very close together. So, as always, we know what we need to do, and that the VIPs tell us what we need to do, but every day kind of turns out to be a little bit of an adventure, because we don't know how long the work's going to take. And once again, I want to be a good steward of the time that I've got available to me, and it's only 5:22 on a pretty nice spring afternoon. It's not like it's going to rain. Looks like the clouds are going to settle in, but that's all right, because tomorrow I'm probably going to go ahead and plant the canola field while I do the rest. But it's like, whether I do this while I'm planting or not, Whether it's planting sorghum or planting canola, it doesn't really matter. So there's not really a reason to just let the sorghum do its thing. And maybe I'll go until it starts getting a little bit darker and it's just harder to drive around. But if I can get a order or two done, it just gets us further along. So that's, I think, would be a good thing. Now, I'm not sure if this is the dairy. If it is, I think it's the dairy we own. So that may be one of those when we deliver the milk that we're not going to get anything for it. But I think around the back side here is where the furniture will be. So I don't want to kind of get stuck. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself here. Uh-oh, I thought I had 6 out here, but I only have 5, so I may not have enough. Oh no, there's 2,400 liters of furniture inside now too, so. Alright. I'm going to get these on the trailer. Alright, so we've got those strapped in. We've got 1 pallet left. Now I'm likely going to keep an eye out on that because once again, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go through production I don't need. I need 7,000 liters of furniture in a couple levels, so I'm going to need basically 1 more pallet than this to move over. So I want to keep it running right now, but in the future I may decide to just stop production, store whatever wood I have, because I may suddenly need to create something else. Here we go with the first level 12 order. So that was easy and quick, that's for sure. But we may blow through level 12 in no time, but I know in my heart of hearts that's wrong because I know the tomatoes are going to take some time, like it or not. So greenhouse production always takes a little bit, and that gives us some room to not rush, which is partially why I was like, well, do I really need to worry about this? But can't do sorghum. I could take wheat. Alright, so there we go. And 34,000 on top of it, selling that 6,000, so not bad. Plus we get environmental rewards for it. And our environmental score should be improving now that I'm gonna have some different situations going on with those fields, because I won't have so many unfertilized and unlimed fields as I did before. Alright, I just wanted to get out of the neighborhood. And then what we will do, and then I think for sure we'll call it a day for that. I think that'll be a pretty good day. I mean, we're now getting up to 6 p.m. The shadows are starting to get a little longer. Yes, I'm gonna keep working the field to get the sorghum done today, even if it takes a little bit into the night. But I will get that planted so that we can do some work tomorrow, and then amongst all the other things I've got to do, you know, I'll have to fertilize, and like I said, I think I have to lime that field, so we'll have some field work next time, and we'll then be able to, aside from the field work, we'll be getting the canola done. So, you know, I'll do the work, we'll get a worker planting the canola, and then we'll get whatever else we can get done on the level 12 orders. But we've got raisins down here, obviously at the grape processing unit. So yeah, the thing I'm not entirely sure of, I think I have enough grape juice. If not, you know, we're gonna have to figure that out before next level. Because if I have to get a grape harvest going, that's gonna be an important thing to worry about, that's for sure. nice sunflower field over here. So we've got activity going on around Riverview, that's for sure. Alright, so coming up on the grape processing unit, you can see it over there to the right through the trees. So I'll pull up here, I'll get my 10,000 raisins loaded, and I will then see you when it is time. Alright, let me back out of here. I had to stack up the grape juice a little bit because it, again, was kind of outputting things. And keep in mind, well, both of them are pretty tight. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get out of here. I'm worried the trailers, the trailers will get stuck on posts, but tractors and stuff won't necessarily. So raisins need to go to Moondogs. So I'm going to head over this way, and we're going to come around the back end instead of going back up near our farm and then coming down this way. So we'll go ahead and do that. Field 9 is just about done. There have been a few little hiccups here and there where it kept running into trees. Otherwise, I think it would have been done. But right now, it's not. So I should be able to get the tractor going on 10 shortly. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that. But once I get to Moondogs, we'll go ahead and we'll hopefully get this order completed. So I'll see you in a bit. So yeah, with everything that happened, we're coming up on 7 o'clock. So it's definitely been a full day. So I don't feel off about going ahead and doing what we need to do here. So I should be able to go in this space in the pallet, and hopefully that will sell to the appropriate thing. It is. You can see the VIP order decreasing, and we are completed. So 44,000 for the raisins. So we are almost at 1.7 million pounds. Doing quite well. Alright, so you can see we've got tomatoes, milk, wheat. We're definitely going to get the canola planted tomorrow, but that's for a later date. But then more than likely I'm going to start having the milk transported. And that's going to take a bit of time to move 44,000 liters of milk. But I believe that's going to be the order that I'm going to focus on initially once I get the other work going, or once I, maybe after I get the work taken care of. Because I also have to go ahead and work these sorghum fields once they're done planting, and again get them fertilized and most likely limed as well. So I'm going to wrap this up for now. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, I appreciate it if you'd like the video. It'll help it spread across with the YouTube algorithm. In addition, greatly appreciate if you would subscribe so that you can follow along, and hopefully, I can have you as a regular viewer. So that would be very, very exciting. So please consider that, and would appreciate it if you would be so kind. And I will see you next time.